There was a 75-year-old man and a 65-year-old woman, an elderly couple, already at an age where they are walking towards the last chapter of life. Yet a voice came to them, "Leave your homeland, your relatives, and your father's house, and go to the land I will show you." Abraham decided to leave everything behind and set out on his journey, and Sarah was always by his side. Sarah quietly, yet resolutely, walked alongside her husband, letting go of her glamorous life, hometown, and stability. Their love was neither young nor passionate. Instead, it was deep and solid. It was a love chosen simply because we looked in the same direction. When we arrived in the land of Canaan, God said, "Your descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sky." But Sarah was barren. She smiled without saying a word, but her heart was shaken. She was the one who understood the reality of being 65. Abraham wavered in his fear of not having children, but he believed in the promise until the end. Sarah quietly supported Abraham from the side. Although their visions and realities, dreams and realism were different, that difference actually brought the two of them together. Then one day, Sarah makes a big decision. It was a choice to give up her own place and her husband's place. She gave her maid Hagar to her husband. She sacrificed herself for the family and for Abraham's dream. However, when Hagar had a child, Sarah was devastated. Jealousy, self-blame, anger, she loved, was devoted, and even sacrificed. But she never expected the price to be a pain that would tear her apart. And time passed. Abraham was 99 years old, and Sarah was 89 when 3 angels came and said, "At this time next year, Sarah will have a son." Sarah, who was secretly listening from inside the tent, laughed and said, "I am old, and my master is old too. How could there be any joy?" That smile contained resignation, sadness, acceptance, and a faint hope. She no longer had the strength to cry. But a year later, a miracle happened. Sarah spoke while holding the child in her arms. "God has made me laugh." Abraham named the child. The meaning of Isaac is laughter. 25 years of waiting have been fulfilled in one name. Crying, despair, and sacrifice all have turned into laughter. Abraham was a man who did not lose his dream. Sarah was the woman who stood by the dream. God's promise was fulfilled when one person's faith and one person's dedication came together. People say Abraham is called the father of faith, and Sarah, the mother of faith. But after hearing their story to the end, I want to rephrase it like this. They were the protagonists of the oldest love story, holding on to each other's lives until the very end. There were many times I wavered during the 25 years of waiting, but I never once let go of their hands. Their love wasn't passionate, but it lasted until the end. That was true love.